What's a fun little fact about yourself? I have mastered moving my eyes independently because when I was 6 a Discovery Channel video of a chameleon told me I couldn't do it. I can plug my nose with my lips. It's a watertight seal, so I use it when I swim, which means I look ridiculous while swimming. I have a tooth in the roof of my mouth. I had no idea it was there until I was 17 and my dentist was baffled. They refused to remove it because they say it's not hurting me. My mother had it too. She didn't remove it either. Braces were enough to bring it back to its correct position. Amazing. I can independently control my uvula. I misread this in a terrible way. So it's a girl house. I write in my journal every day since 2009. So I have an account of all my thoughts since the past 10 years. And I can see how I grew as a person since I was 15. Sometimes I cringe when I read something from back then. Those are treasures though. I can cry or throw up on command. I can also throw up on the spot. Haven't found a good use for it just yet. I have no sense of smell and never had. Whenever I tell this to people, their response falls into one of 3 categories. 1, that's so unfortunate. You don't know how good X smells. 2, you're so lucky. You don't have to know how X smells. 3, so if I fart in your face you won't notice. I've yet to receive a different response aside from those, and you'd be surprised how many unrelated people told me N3. It's impressive lol. Feel for you, dude. Lost my sense of smell and taste from a concussion almost 6 months ago. I imagine it's easier to have never been able to smell than have a sense for 50 plus years and then lose it. I have no pericardium. When I was 6 months old, I had bad acid reflux, and doctors were concerned about damage to my esophagus. 1 CORD scan later, my esophagus was okay, but they saw a hole in my pericardium, which is the sac of protective fat around the heart. Now this is a problem, because as I would grow up, my heart could start to grow through the hole, and choke itself at some point, killing me out of the blue. So at 7 months old I had heart surgery. They went in all ready to patch the hole, only to find what had looked like a hole on the scan was actually the pericardium. All of it that formed at least. I'm one of 23 people at that time, if I remember correctly, who had been found to have this while alive, and not post-mortem during autopsy. They removed the small piece that was all that had formed on gestation. So I have no pericardium. It does not affect me negatively in any way, and I'm immune to pericardial diseases. Not that many exist to my knowledge. I tried to get into a military academy, so had to see a cardiologist to get certification that it was a non-issue. He confirmed I could do anything I wanted, heart health wise. Dogmerb didn't change their decision though. TL, doctor, I don't have a sack of fat around my heart unlike most people. That's so interesting. Technically the fat is still there, attached to the heart, but the serous fluid which is contained by the sac is gone. Which is pretty neat. No pericarditis for you. My mom also doesn't have a pericardium. She had a huge, very rare form of heart cancer. The tumor had invaded all along the upper septum, the part that runs down the middle and separates the left and right sides of the heart. So they used the pericardium to rebuild the septum after removing the tumor. It was an 18-hour surgery, and she was in the ICU for almost 2 months. But she's doing great today. I can touch my elbows together the wrong way. Oh my, so many images running through my head. I turned 11 on the 11th of November 11. That edit is hilarious. I turned legal drinking age in the place where I lived at the time 3 times in my life. First when I was 16, then when I was 17 they increased the legal age to 18. So I turned legal drinking age again when I was 18. When I was 20 I moved to where legal drinking age is 21. So I had to wait a couple of months again. This happened to my brother in New York State. At one point, he was working for a beer distributor when he became unlegal again. Didn't they grandfather in anyone that was already legal? I had a global high score in Temple Run 2 for about 15 minutes. I don't have the screenshot anymore unfortunately. I can fit an entire double cheeseburger in my mouth. McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King tested. I guarantee you that this is a fetish for someone out there. I really could start selling videos of this. I can draw the map of Middle-earth from memory alone. I also remember the opening lyrics of every single cartoon I watched as a child. Talk about selective memory. I have time-space synesthesia. Link in description. My mother also experiences it, and there have been studies done that do suggest it's genetic. I cannot even comprehend that. Probably exactly like you probably cannot imagine what it must be like for people who do not have it. That is really fascinating. I tied on the world record of the smallest paper ship ever folded. In 1992 my ship was 2 mm in length. Also I folded a paper plane with a span width of 2 mm. How fucking tiny are your hands? Op is really an ant. I can shake my eyes back and forth really fast for an indeterminate amount of time. CR/I-shickers. Hey wow, I can do that too. I don't think I've known anyone else who can do that. I still got milk teeth. I'm 19. I had 4 baby teeth when I was 17. Dentist was like, nah, fuck this shit. 2 minutes later, I had no baby teeth. Adult teeth just moved right on in afterwards. It's like they were just being polite and patiently waiting for the baby teeth to pop out. I'm physically incapable of feeling dizziness. Now that's interesting. Thank you. As far as skills go it's pretty useless, but at least I can show off at amusement parks. 50% of the time, I can get all the coins in Super Mario 3, World 1 to 4, resulting in the appearance of the White Mushroom Shop. 50% of the time you do it every time. I was born at 25 weeks, 1 pounds and 10 ounces with 0 birth defects, 24 years old happy and healthy. Amazing. I have a small patch of perfectly white hair just above my cooch. It was once described as looking like my vagina was cosplaying as Rogue from X-Men. So, a superpowered vag that absorbs genital memories of whatever it comes into contact with. Someone's been reading my Tinder bio. I once held 14 world records in SSX 2012, semicolon. In the year 2045, I will be 67 and my birthday will be the 23rd of January 1945, and I will be 67, throwing a big party. Also if you add 01 plus 23 plus 45 it equals 69. Nice. I can suck in air through my left eye socket. Weird flex, but okay. Sue Perkins once said I was a good drummer. Did she see you playing live with a band? I grew up in a Mennonite family. Are you still together? It sounds like you may have separated from them. I hope you're doing well. I'd like to hear your story. Yay, we are actually very close. I did leave, and ended up in a crippling drug addiction for about 10 years. I've been clean over 3 now, and they are just happy and relieved for that. I see my parents often, and our relationship is better than ever. I beat cancer twice. 2 completely separate and unrelated cancers, hoping there is no third time's the charm, semicolon. Your body was like NO. I constantly hear music in the back of my mind, like background music. When you watch a movie, the tune is always dependent on my mood. I don't hear it per se, but I always have a song playing in my head. Sometimes it changes, based on something I see or hear, but most of the time it's random, and it's not always songs I actually like. Got 3 nipples. Are you sure it's not an oven?